Good morning. This is the Friday, July 18th regular meeting of Lorain County Board of Commissioners. Let's begin with the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Riddell.
Here.
Commissioner Moore.
Here.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
We have a quorum. Under resolutions number 1, investments.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes. Casey, that term, it says appropriating funds for attorney fees, and it's kind of a large number. Can you tell me how, it must cover a whole lot of stuff?
Yeah, sure. So those are specifically towards indigent attorney fees. This one specifically is attorney fees related to the domestic relations court, but we have similar accounts under common pleas, under the appellate court, and under muni fees. Those expenses fall back to the county's general fund. So these are expenses that go towards those fees, in addition to foreign judges when they come in, grand jury juror fees, things like that. So these are one of these expenses that unfortunately there's not a whole lot of control at the time you guys have. These expenses kind of fall on our lap. And
Well, as you know, we've been trying to govern to avoid litigation, and I just want to make sure that nobody mistakes this for,
Yeah.
active litigation for the county government.
sure.
Anything further?
There's somebody in the audience that has raised their hand.
Kristen Richardson, Deputy Code Administrator for Domestic Relations and Juvenile. Just to follow up on what Casey said, these attorney fees are also reimbursed currently at 85% from the Ohio Public Defender's Office. So the auditor's office turns in those attorney fee reimbursement requests, and those funds do come back into the county's general fund. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that.
That's good news. Casey, how did you miss that
We get some money
salient
back.
point?
It's always good when we get some money back.
That's right.
Awesome.
That is a variable. A couple years ago we were actually
was
getting
100.
100% or not.
Yeah.
Then it went down to 90. I've seen it anywhere from
Currently at 85.
85.
But yes, it does vary.
seen as low as 70, but it is a variable formula.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you for the information.
Anything further?
Nope.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Number 3, transfers.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 4, advances, repayments to none. Number 5, requisitions.
And can we have page 2?
Move to approve pages 1 and 2. Second.
Discussion.
Did we want to address? $12.54? Excuse me, $13.54. That's actually not a contribution for the stage, that's a sponsorship.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 1353 and 1354, that's your bed tax money at work. Those are sponsorships for Lorain Port Authority with Rocket on the River, and the 1353 is sponsorship of the entertainment also at the grandstand down at the Lorain County Fair. We generate about 800,000 plus a year in bed tax, and we, as the president of the board at the Visitors Bureau, the board approved a 5-year MOU for both organizations and about 100,000 for the next 4 more years, I guess. So that's what those two money is. That's your people that come visit, stay in hotels, and we're reinvesting it in our own communities, so,
Just for clarity, 1354 is Lorain City Port Authority,
yep.
not county.
Did I say county?
Yes.
Well, you know, I'm a little, favorable for our county port, but the city port and the county port do get along fantastic now,
Yep.
which is a good thing.
And I,
Great
and
group.
I don't know if everybody's aware of it, but the Visitors Bureau has also been doing event commercials on the TV media in Cleveland and so forth. And last Saturday at the Air Show Car Show, Antique Air and Antique Car Show, over 6,000 visitors were in Lorain County.
Very successful this year. Gary Gibbs is doing a fantastic job as our executive director.
Yes.
And looking
Yes.
for a lot more great things. All the local communities are actually using the Visitors Bureau now. And for all each community's festivals and activities, so,
Spoken like the president of the board
of the Visitors Bureau.
of the Visitors Bureau.
I don't want to step on your toes here,
Next year.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 6, travel.
Move to approve.
Second?
We gotta go to one more page there. There we go. Okay.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 7, bills.
And page 2 starts the general revenue fund. Page 3. And page 4.
Move to approve pages 1 through 4.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 8, do you have anything?
I don't think we have a personnel summary sheet, so,
And we are not expecting a
so we can
executive session
save her
today.
from reading all that today.
We have no public comment forms on the agenda items, or public comment forms at all. C, old business. Nothing. Board business, number 9, approve and waive the reading in the county commissioners meeting minutes of July 15th.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
10, amendment resolution 2588, adopted February 11th to 25, entering into service contract with True Scripts Management Services, LLC, to amend the agreement to include 0 co-payment of specialty tier 1 drugs. This agreement will be effective August 1st, 25.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Administrator, I know that you were working on this. Can you give us a little background? It's good news. We're reducing the copay to 0, but this is your victory lap.
It's a complicated victory lap, and rather to explain it, it went to 0. How's
Oh,
that?
that's
Because it was complicated, it was a work effort. We all worked on it internally, and it happened, which is a good thing.
Very good.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Stormwater Management, 11, approve a second amendment to the consulting services agreement with K. McCartney and Associates, Inc. regarding the Willow Creek watershed in the amount of $480,000 to clean and restore Carpenter Ditch. Said amendment is for the survey, planning, wetland assessment, design, and construction planning and permitting. The total contract amount will not exceed $1,279,710 and will be paid from Stormwater Professional Services account and is recognized as a reimbursable cost from Fund 4500 through future eligible TIF funding within the watershed.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You go first.
No, it was, I just wanted to acknowledge Don and his team last night. The Lorain County Township Association did was it a 1 hour or 30-minute presentation?
About 30 minutes.
Seems like an hour when you're talking about ditches. But your team did an excellent job of all the activity that's going on. He explained not only this, but you explained the litigation that's going on with the. I mean, I felt you and your team did an excellent job. And the engineer's office was there, the KEM was there, and it was a pretty good packed house. I just wanted to at least acknowledge that you guys did an excellent job last night, and
Thank you.
that was all. So
Very good. Can you give us some further background on this? It's
Yes.
kind of it's a large bill for design and planning.
It is, and this is one of those projects where you're looking at what it could be from cradle to grave, and there's no commitment that we'd actually spend all of that money, because we may find out that certain parts of the ditch don't need work. Unlikely, but possible. We may find that because of regulatory climate, there are things that we cannot do that would stop the projects from being able to go forward. So we are not committing to spending all of this money at one time. But Carpenter Ditch has been a ditch that has been on the radar in Eaton Township and in Columbia Township for many years. We've had a number of complaints all along it. We actually did a ditch petition project several years ago, Carpenter Lateral number 7. And what really brought this to the head was when the board was able to invest heavily in stormwater and really move some projects forward. Carpenter Lateral 7 basically stopped short of its outlet, so we started to look at extending it. And once we did that and started talking to the property owners, we found out that they had some concerns off of Lateral 7 along the main ditch that it would feed into. And so we had to stop, look back, reassess. This contract, as you saw, was an amendment. We had awarded a general services tasks for the Willow Creek watershed. And so what these studies have done is it got us Fortune Ditch. It got us the Gerber property. We're moving along on Bannister Ditch. So this is the third one and the last major ditch within this Willow Creek watershed that we'd be looking at. Overall, we're looking at nearly 5 miles of ditch. So this is larger than Fortune. And it has a drainage area of approximately 3.8 square miles. And has a lot of development potential within it, including some pending development like the Creekwood Golf Course. That golf course is served by both Fortune and Carpenter, Maine, and it goes deep into Columbia Township all the way past Mitchell Road. So it starts east of Mitchell Road and goes all the way to State Route 83, where it joins with Fortune and then goes eventually into Willow Creek. And it is a soup to nuts contract. So the wetland delineations, the surveying, the design, the construction management's in there if we are able to get that far, the development of the easements. If you can imagine it, we have it in there to be covered so that we can move as quickly as possible. And then the key is tying it to development so we have an ability to recapture these funds. A project like this, the Stormwater District would not be able to do on its own quickly in days post-ARPA. So this is one of the ways we're trying to leverage our position for development and create future development potential so that we can continue to grow our community in a responsible way by investing in infrastructure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
which is what ARPA funds was supposed to be used for, right?
Right.
You know, I saw the schedule that man is working. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great work. You are managing, I don't know how many ditches.
Well,
It's
we
a
took-
lot.
Well, I remember back when this all started, it was like a 10, 12-year project. I said, we got 3 years to get it done. Unfortunately, attorneys and people got a little upset, and they've delayed. Well, how many projects was it, 4?
3 in court, and then we do have 3 where I only need 1 easement that I've been struggling to get for. On 1, it's 3 years. I joke with the engineer's office and Peter in particular. We're on version or drawing number 16AC. Trying to get that last easement, although I did announce last night, Peter had a good meeting with that property owner, and we anticipate getting it once that last design is done, so.
Yeah. That's and part of what Don did last night, when we had to remind the trustees that by statute, there's certain things we have to do as a county. And when they get that letter, it always freaks people out. And what Carl did as a trustee, if a local trustee that you elected walks out to those property owners and tells them, look, this is what we're trying to do, instead of trying to read a legal letter from attorneys. So when you get an attorney letter or something that's official, people automatically get their boxing gloves on, but when the township trustees went out and then they educate and talk to them and say, here's what we're doing, we want to clean it, benefit for the whole community, and it's not going to cost you anything.
Yeah.
And then, because they see it as, most people, when you get that letter, they think you're taking their property, and we're not. And so I thought it was a good meeting last night, and to continue those partnerships with the trustees to help us educate those people that say, we're not here to take your land. We're here to
Yeah.
clean it up, because if you're not gonna clean it up, someone's gonna have to, so.
Yeah.
So it was a
There you
good
go.
meeting. You did a good job, and,
Thank you.
I wanted to thank you again.
This is one of the
Great
ditches
work.
that also runs towards, affects North Ridgeville.
I don't think this one does. Fortune is.
Yeah.
Fortune is.
Yeah.
Because God said all water must go north.
Anything further? Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Under Domestic Relations, 12, approve and renew the operating agreement between the County Commissioners and Earmark Correctional Services, LLC, Pennsylvania, to provide food service for the Detention Home and Facilities Complex. This is effective retroactive to July 1st of 25 and ending June 30th of 26, with a 1-year renewal, 1 year remaining by mutual agreement of the parties, and contains a 60-day written cancellation clause, and this will be paid from their contract services account.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Just as a note, this is the same vendor that services the county jail, so we're creating economies of scale.
I just wanted to make a point. I reached out to the deputy administrator, and I do want to commend them. They're very active in the multi-bid process, which I am a big advocate of, and they have been following it. They're good. They're being very diligent with their fiscal responsibility and saving taxpayer money, so I do commend them and thank them.
Multi-bid Marty. I think that's your new
That's-
nickname.
Hey. Rather cut expenses than jobs, buddy.
Exactly. MBM. When you hear me say MBM, we know what that means now.
Commissioner Moore?
Sorry. Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Dell?
Aye.
Engineer 13, amend the settlement agreement with Columbia Northwest Properties LLC, Wilkinson Farms LLC, Riverside Development Inc., and CMK Limited as adopted in Resolution 2236 and Resolution 2288. This amendment is to reflect all future distributions to be directed to Richard Barron, Builders and Developments Company, Inc.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Bob, I don't know if you had something. Just more amendments, right? That's
No,
all.
what, as part of an early, it's been about 10 years ago already that we did a development agreement for the Redfern Road sanitary sewer and pump station. As part of that agreement, we collect tap-in fees from the new homes that tap into the sanitary sewer. The original agreement had the payments dispersed back to the developers. It went to Mr. Carney. Mr. Carney, I believe, passed away just recently, so we're amending it to, we'll send those checks as requested by the developers to Mr. Barron.
Yep.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Dell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Thanks, Bob.
Sheriff 14, authorize Lorain County Sheriff's Office to enter an agreement with XL Canine Services, Inc. for the training and maintenance of police canines for the Law Enforcement Division and Correction Division. Cost is $110 per hour for 10 hours per session biweekly, which includes 2 hours travel per session, and this will be paid from their continuing professional training account.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Dell?
Aye.
County Administrator?
So I never thought I'd say I'd be excited about subdivision regulations, but what I can say is for the last 7 months, I've taken on this endeavor of consolidating our subdivision regulations. We currently have 2 between the engineer and county planning. And yesterday we concluded a 6-hour meeting. I know, appreciate the attendance of all those who were there yesterday. We are now I think, in a very good position in that we have a consolidated agreement of regulations related to subdivision development in the county. It is a very streamlined process. The engagement and participation from Bob Kleiber and Sean DeFala from the engineer's office, from Don, from Stormwater and his team, from the county planning team, from Kristen and from Kelly and others, really has made this, number one, yesterday's meeting, which what I would consider the concluding meeting, was very, very amenable, and whatever outstanding items we had, although it did take 6 hours, we were able to come to a very good consensus on how to move forward with residential development in the townships in Lorain County. So the next phase is to send it to the prosecutor's office for them to kind of harmonize it and reformat it and structure it in such a way that it's going to serve as a single point of development, discussion, and direction in the county. We've also had subsequent discussions with various municipalities who are interested in looking at our format and our design, our definitions, our processes as a model for them to maybe look at in their communities doing the same thing. So development in the county can look more ubiquitous, once again, making it easier to do development in Lorain County. I'll come back before you with the team, and we'll give a presentation because we have to have 2 public hearings on this and go over all the changes that have taken place. But one of the things, 2 areas I want to really highlight right now, we talk about the speed of going through the process, and not for the sake of speed, but there were some modifications to the plan that from county planning will save about 35% time in the process of reviewing plans through the Planning Commission. But the engineer on his side, and we appreciate the support and participation there, we believe that through various stages of the process, if it went that far, we've been able to shave over 50% time in their review time as well. So pretty significant when we talk about the development and what we can do here in Lorain County. So stay tuned for that. We'll have come before you very shortly as soon as the prosecutor's office has its chance to do its magic and present a more consolidated, robust, single document. So we don't have 2 plans anymore in the county. We have 1 document. So stay tuned for that. A couple quick updates. As part of the strategic plan, one of the items was suggested that the county engage and foster and promote a single community calendar. We are in an agreement with LorainCounty.com to serve as that single facilitator of communication and point of contact for a single reference for calendar and promotion of events countywide. So I just wanted to make you aware we did do a press release on that. 2 other items I want to talk about. Foreign trade zones. If you recall, about a month and a half ago, we did a foreign trade zone event in conjunction with the Port of Cleveland. The reason the Port of Cleveland is they are designated as the Zone 40 designee from the Department of Commerce and Treasury to be the lead for Northeast Ohio, in which we are one of 4.5 counties. As a byproduct of that event, to date, I am aware of 2 organizations, 2 businesses in Lorain County that are going to or are planning to take advantage of the foreign trade zone status, which will save them well over $10 million in activity and fees and related items. So that was a very proactive event we conducted, and businesses in Lorain County are benefiting from the connectivity that we made in relation to foreign trade zones. One other item I want to touch base on. If you remember, we talked about the Lead Safe Ohio program, and where we had allowed funds to go unexpended, and we asked for an extension. We did receive that extension. As a result, we have 27 homes in Lorain County that have qualified and have been approved under various stages of development. That is all that we can handle from a financial perspective and from a deadline perspective. We have to have all the funds expended by February 28th. And so working with Kleinfelder, we've gone through, we had close to 400 applications submitted after we did the press release in mid-March. We are closed out of the funding. We did ask for additional funding. There's no additional funding currently available from the federal government, and the state government in its recent budget reduced lead funding from down to $250,000 per year statewide. So we're going to continue to seek federal funding where available, but we have a need here in not only Lorain County but the state of Ohio and the nation to deal with this lead remediation and program I'm happy to report that we were able to use all of the funding appropriated to us. We're not returning funding. So people in the county who need assistance with lead remediation will be served to the extent that we can. One other item, which is occurring this week, lead training. If you remember, we had the contractor outreach about 2 months ago, and in that outreach program, the Ohio Department of Development also offered to, came and gave a presentation on lead training. That training program is taking place this week. We have a minority business that is signed up and going through the training program right now. It's at no cost to them to be trained. And so I know Commissioner Riddell was out at the college and addressed the group. So that is, we will have from this training session one more company, Lorain-based company, available to help with lead remediation, not only through this program that we're offering now, but this is a consistent and continuing program dealing with lead remediation throughout the county and the region. So happy that we were able to provide that connection and provide that training in the county, and we're looking to continue with lead remediation and rehabilitation training through continuing programming, such as the outreach program we're offering this week. So that concludes my comments, but if there are any questions, I'll be glad to answer any.
Just to add to the comments that were made earlier, that with regards to press releases and things, I can only tell you that 2 years ago when I showed up, or actually almost 3 now in February of this coming year, when press releases went out, they would always come down and says, well, who's going to send it out and who's going to write it? And how are we going to get this done? And through the board, we were able to hire some professional people that actually, a company that actually does this on a daily basis to get all the information out. So we took that and put it together with all of our input from this end, and from now on, I mean, and it's worked very well. We send it over there, and the layout design, they might change it, send it back to us, but it's almost immediate. They get it to everyone, and I think that it's worked out tremendously well for the county to help promote Lorain County, that it's to all the media that is out there, radio, print, and television, and that certainly has standardized the message, and it certainly has enhanced visibility of Lorain County, at least in my opinion. It certainly moved the traffic down coming down to my office as to who's going to do it, how are we going to get it out, and who's going to send it out. But it's been a help, and from the input of Gary, the input of John and Jeff in your office and the offices down there, it really, we can produce things very quickly to make it work. Saying that, the most important thing is that, well, not the most important, we've also engaged ChatGPT and other AI programs within Lorain County over the last 8 months. And honestly, the subdivision guidelines and stuff, we used the the draft, put it in, did the strengths and weaknesses. We did a comparison, helped the team understand just exactly what our strengths and weaknesses were between the two. And most recently, Todd has taken the spreadsheet from Rastelis, because our concern is the spreadsheet on the rates for the 6119, there might be an error on a 6-page spreadsheet. And it's interesting that what Todd Sharkey has been able to do with not only ChatGPT, but the other programs they've got up there using this to put these spreadsheets in, and it actually checks the formula and tells you that you should do this. It's pretty cool. So we are modernizing, as we are at our front office, the Lorain County, based on your efforts up here as county commissioners to make it work that way. And finally, and probably the most important thing, and I'm going to suggest this is because the controlling board actually has on the agenda, they've had it before 3 or 4 times, but our sewer money for the west side. I hate to talk about it earlier, but it could be taken off the agenda 5 minutes from now when they're there. And I see Commissioner Moore looking at us, Jeff, you're jinxing this whole thing.
Yeah,
but You know,
Talked to Nate
it-
last night about it.
I know,
That's what
and
we're trying to be-
I get excited, and but you know,
Control.
it's out in the open. It's a public
Is it
record.
out in the
They've got it out in the open. The public record says that it's on the controlling board, us and Dayton and one other project, but
It's at
we knew
1:30
that it
on
was
Monday, I
1 and
believe,
2. And I'm not sure if I believed him at the time, but we were number 2. We weren't number 1, but it looks like that ask is going to be approved. And hopeful that's Senator Manning and Representative Manning and your efforts, the team effort, the times that we've been down in Columbus, that been with the FAA, and all these things all commingle around what's happening with the mega site out there. I'm excited, and hopefully we're going to coordinate the press release with the Senate in the state with our press release out here. So I've asked Nathan, once they get it written on that end, let's hope it's exciting and not the fact that they pulled it again. Who knows? I've been there. Politics is funny, and I'm still in it, but I'm
Glass
the
half full,
administrator.
Jeff. Glass half full.
That's right, it is.
Well,
That completes my report, and I'm sorry Karen isn't here, but she's got a big day today, and we'll be attending later on this afternoon to her mother's passing away.
Yeah, well, I guess the meeting's at 1:30 on Monday, so we should know Monday afternoon on how this can help fix Vermillion, Baumart
should.
Road, and help redevelop with all the work that we're doing with the townships on the development agreements, and this is going to be huge. And that's why I was last night at the Lorain County Township Association. We weren't really trying to talk about it because we just told them we have some big news on Monday. Also, what was discussed last night at the Lorain County Township Association was when you talk about PR, was the Children's Services came out and talked about foster children. And we're so appreciative of this board efforts with our newsletter, because they were talking at the townships. You may think it's an urban issue, but over 11% of their foster children do come from the townships. And so they're very appreciative. And when people look at the PR work that we're doing, that's what we're doing. We're educating the public, say, here's what we have, here's the services we provide, and we need your help too as citizens. And so it was nice last night to hear compliments in regards to our newsletter. And very appreciative of John Gull. She worked with him in getting that awareness out in our community.
And quite honestly, our message stays on point.
Yeah.
I don't get to ramble. I mean, and neither does anybody else,
Yeah.
because
Not
it
that
stays on
we don't
point.
ramble at all.
So a couple things. Number one, there could be some naming rights on the 6119 you've been working on so long, the sewers. Maybe we could call it Jeff Armbruster Sewer District.
I don't have billions and millions of dollars to do that, to ask for that.
Number one, nice job. Dave Greenspan, great work on it. The Let's Safe program. Hopefully we can get more competitive bids so we can spread the money out to more properties. You know that, and you and I have had many conversations. In the developers meetings, you spearheaded it. You did a great job. You deserve credit for that. Nice job.
It was a team effort, echoing my county administrator.
Yes, Dave, you have to quit saving all of your bullets for one meeting.
Yeah.
But I will say that was a project that Marty came on board this year, and he's got some experience in the development business. I've spent my life in the construction and growth business, especially the residential, 50 years, and we provided our policy. We tried to keep our the commissioner role and not get involved. But I have to say that it sounds kind of dry, redoing the subdivision agreement. But we had a series of, 12, 15 meetings over 7 months. We had 6, 7 developers who compete with each other on a daily basis in the room, willing to explain the hurdles that government was providing, maybe not intentionally, but nonetheless, it's a hurdle. And Dave was able to take all the various the stormwater, the sewage capacity, the building, the engineers department, all the people that interact, and in this one document will be the roadmap of how to work with Lorain County. So that all these people still have their authority, but over a period of years, things for one reason or another, people had wandered into somebody else's lane and things had gotten kind of complex. And everybody on the Lorain County side of it took no personal objection to what we were doing, contributed to the final product. And when it comes out, again, for most people, it's going to be a pretty dry thing. But when we're spending 10 to 12 months to get a project approved, we just knew that there had to be a better way. And so, and I was very proud of our county staff who came into the meeting. Yesterday was the first time Dave had the ambition of putting all of the parties in the same room together. And I can tell you that everybody was professional. Everybody started to understand the other party's concern, and it was laborious, but nonetheless a very important document. And kudos, Dave. Next to the strategic plan, this might be your second best effort in your career here at Lorain County.
We'll go through a lot of details to the presentation. One thing I will say, just a humorous note, as mild-mannered as Bob is, I found his tell. When Bob does this, he's done, he's dug in. So there's no more negotiation with Bob when he uses the hand chops there.
It was amazing seeing all you guys come together, all departments, different, the engineering and soil and water, all that. Getting that together was monumental.
Thank you.
And everybody worked together. It was awesome.
And I'd also like to say is that I look at this as a living document. This is one that as we go through and we work with it, that quite honestly, with the team that you've assembled out here administratively and engineering-wise, that if there needs to be tweaks, I think that we can probably make those tweaks and make it work for everybody, not only the county, but for the contractors and developers that are out there. It's not just a document that's going to lay in the ground. It's something we need to live with and make sure that it works.
Yeah. It's interesting, but yesterday, and again, Marty and I tried very hard to stay out of the actual decisions, and just when it came time to make a policy statement on where does Lorain County stand, we were there to provide that guidance. But it was interesting yesterday, there's in retention ponds, there's an EPA requirement to provide some protection, and so the discussion rallied around a kid falls into a retention pond. We're required to have a floating device up on the embankment. So assuming that nobody has vandalized or stolen the floating device, who's going to be there to throw it to the kid in the pool? So we elected to take a more pragmatic approach, and they staff and the developers agreed to put up some serious signage and no swimming, dangerous, and so forth, because at least that has an opportunity to do some good. But on the lead safe, I want to clarify, Dave, if I'm mistaken, but the talks in Washington revolving around the CBDG money do not affect the lead safe program?
So, thank you. It very well may. Now, the money we have now does not. I mean, that money's locked in. However, what you're referring to is the fact that the federal government right now has plans to eliminate all CDBG funding, which would include lead safe, it would include CHIP, all these programs that you're approving on a consistent basis. They're designed, if you understand those programs are designed to help low to moderate income individuals repair and their homes and some businesses. The issue is this is the last, and a lot of these opportunities, this is the last chance that these folks have to have this work done. So it's really important when we talk about community housing, not public housing, but community housing, the value that these programs provide in our community, because they do provide this last opportunity for someone to have a roof repaired or the items, the lead issues. Without this funding, my opinion is it could have a significant impact on leading to more blight and negative impacts within our communities. Because we do know, and unfortunately the land bank is in place to help uplift those homes that have reached a tax lien foreclosure status and are in various stages of disrepair. This the federal funding, the CDBG funding, the CHIP funding, the LSO funding, is intended to help those communities not get into that situation. In the absence of that funding, it could have a very negative impact on our community. So yes, to your question is, it does have an impact on this and the programs I just mentioned and others. So we'll watch and see what happens in Washington as it relates to the federal funding.
So I suppose you could call it the glass half full approach, is that the pattern in Washington has been to eliminate something, and then out of the conversation that occurs that should have occurred for years comes a revised plan, and hopefully they'll find a more efficient way to do the CBDG and keep some of it. But, you know, nobody gets very serious about cutting costs or reforming projects, and I think the current flavor in Washington is we're going to eliminate it and make those that need it fight for it and help reconstruct it in a more efficient way. From the very beginning, I've been very unhappy with the fact that it takes us 30 cents out of every dollar in consultant and overhead. And, you know, it just seems like, you know, we ought to be able to do it a little cheaper than that, but it's full of regulation and paperwork and so forth that costs a lot of money to do, and maybe we just need to rebuild it so that more money goes where it needs to go.
And the impact to Lorain County over the past several years is we've received about $11 million for this programming. So what it's done is not only help shore up our housing stock, our aging housing stock, but that money directly goes into our local economy for an economic development factor. It employs people who do the work. So not only does it serves a dual purpose, right? It helps raise our housing, the value of our housing stock, maintains a consistent level of property valuations, but it also is an employment endeavor as well, as we're able, those to your point, all 11, well, of the $11 million or so, most of that goes towards labor. There's material costs in there, but it goes to spark local economic activity as well.
Well, and at the risk of giving you two compliments in the same meeting, I did visit the meeting. I had another meeting at the college, and Dave's meeting with the lead safe training was across the way, and he asked me to stop in, which I did. And after I identified myself and so forth, a gentleman stood up and put his hand out and said to me that this was the first time in his career that he had been contacted by the county government to do something for them. And was happy to be getting this training and so forth so that they could participate in some of the construction work here in Lorain County. And so kudos, Dave, you know. Yes.
You should have spread it out over a couple of meetings, though.
Next time.
One last comment. Let's talk about go back to the developers and builders. I know that internally we've had a lot of conversation on lot splits, being able to get those done quickly, bank loans and some other things that are holding things up. We are administratively working internally for us to understand just exactly what's happening. And because people are going to be watching this on TV, and they are right now, we intend to going down to the auditor's office and sitting down with Tim Kochi and them down there and see how we can improve this, because it's holding up some huge projects, and banks are not making the loans when they should based on lot splits and some other things that are happening with the developers because of the slowdown downstairs in the auditor's office. I understand they have a slowdown, but we've got the economy that we need that is hot. We need to move forward. We need to get this working through. And I'm sure that somebody in the auditor's office this is not a knock on them, but we need to have a workaround to see how we can get this moved quicker. Thanks.
Very good.
Okay. Tuesday, July 22nd at 9 a.m. will be an investment advisory meeting. At 3:30 that day will be Commissioner Sales Tax hearing. At 4:30 that day, Commissioners will have a foster ditch hearing. On Thursday, July 24th at 9 a.m. will be our land bank meeting, and Friday, July 25th at 9:30 will be Commissioner Sales Tax hearing. For correspondence.
Move to waive the reading of the board correspondence.
There we go.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Is there any new business?
I think we just talked about all the new business,
And there's no public comment.
and there's no public comment, so having done our work for today, the meeting is adjourned. Enjoy the weekend.
I know.